Hello and welcome to Andy's Little Sci-Fi Horror Show. My name's Andy.
And I'm Ken.
Well, this is my little 10-minute window to the rest of the world, and today is August
24th.
We picked this day specifically for our road trip because it is a beautiful, clear, blue sky. Well, for the most part. Today, we are on our UFO searching road trip, Project Blue Folder. We are taking the wife's car because it has a sunroof. And as far as equipment goes, we have this digital camera. We have a high-definition camera with a wide-angle lens on front, catching everything on the highway. We have a
digital 720 find.
We have a mini DV. We have a high definition, but really works best for taking photos. We have 2 night vision cameras, and we have our cell phones. We have a total, I think we have a total of 7 cameras here. And we have 2 GPSs, and we have a map, and we know exactly where we're going.
Digital still.
We have a flight tracker app with pickles, onions, and sesame seed button here. We are ready to go.
And we have the star map from Google.
We have the star map, so we know if there's anything in the sky is a star or if it's a plane. So if it's a UFO or unidentifiable in any way, we're gonna catch it. We have all the chargers and everything ready to go, but our first stop is Dunkin' Donuts. Get a nice coffee. Check out our view here. Boom. We got the sunroof cam, GPS. We're all hooked up. This is awesome. We have all this technology, and we have our old school maps that are actually plotting out the path we're gonna be taking. And we're actually gonna go out to here even though it's not marked. And then come back down. Boom.
Yes.
In one day. Piece of cake.
We are on the road.
The road trip reality. This is how they're watching us. Today is about the UFO road trip. Now, the UFO explosion, as they like to say, actually happened in the 1940s after the Roswell big controversy. Back then, the media was a very different thing. It had the government handle this a little bit better, come out with the honest answer right away, true or false. A lot of the stuff that we're going through today wouldn't even exist. The term UFO stands for Unidentified Flying Object. Now, do UFOs exist? Of course they do, because not everything in the sky is identifiable. So by very definition alone, yes, UFOs do exist. Now, are they piloted by little green men who are going to come here and probe us? I don't know for sure. I can't say yes or no. I never experienced anything like that. Doesn't mean it doesn't exist. I didn't see the sunrise in China yesterday. Doesn't mean it didn't happen. That's not what this is really about. What this is really about is taking a road trip through the state of Massachusetts and visit some of the sites that there has been video document of UFOs. The term flying saucer actually comes from a newspaper article, a very famous newspaper article, when the very first credible witness coined the phrase, "It looked like a flying saucer." It looked like a disc-like saucer in the sky. So hence the term flying saucer became a coined term. Up until then, in the days of World War II and all things, they had code names like Foo Fighters, and many of them were described as cigar-shaped, which is interesting because, that is more like a sky ship. A lot of these reports always tend to seem to be tailored to the mentality of the time, even going back to the days of the Bible. Ezekiel saw the wheel of fire, and the alien had a triple animal head, the lion and the eagle. I'm not really that sharp on my biblical sense sources, but I do know that it exists. You can research it yourself.
Flying saucers have invaded our planet. Washington, London, Paris, Moscow are key targets. The whole world is under attack. Can it survive?
We are the survivors of a disintegrated solar system. At this moment, the remainder of our fleet is circling your globe.
What do you want with me?
Arrange for your world leaders to confer with us in the city of Washington.
They set up an electronic screen. The artillery doesn't penetrate.
Never before has the screen reached such heights of excitement, breathtaking spectacle, hair-raising terror. See the saucer men's high-frequency disintegrators. See flying saucers travel thousands of miles in seconds. See great cities leveled by flying saucer monsters.
Russ, look.
The same kind of thing that's watched us since the beginning of the project.
People of Earth, attention. People of Earth, attention. This is a voice speaking to you from thousands of miles beyond your planet.
They're coming down to take over. They made that clear to us in the saucer. To the best of our knowledge, my wife and I are the only ones left alive.
The big explosion of UFO sightings, like I said before, had happened in the 40s to the 50s. Some of the more interesting theories I find are that these beings have been visiting for years, and they really only took an interest in humans because we started using atomic testing, and that was kind of a threat. So they decided to start keeping a closer eye on us. That is one interesting theory. For all we know, these crafts could be us from the future coming back and studying us, which is a plausible explanation if you believe in the space-time continuum, that time itself is actually a fabric and can be ripped and torn and cut holes and manipulated. Interesting. I don't know if we're going to come across anything that substantial today. We'll see. But like I said, we have 7 cameras going. Let's see what we're going to get.
As the story goes, it was the late 60s, I believe evening, about 6:30 or so. Betty Anderson was in her kitchen, and the rest of her family were in the living room. There was her 7 children and 2 other adults.
Sounds like the aliens are doing her a favor.
Yeah. Well, she started seeing red lights through the kitchen window in her yard. She went to check on the family to make sure that they are all right, and explained what was going on in the kitchen. Her husband went to the kitchen to investigate, and at that point in time, he saw aliens, about 4 or 5 of them, skipping across the yard towards the house.
I read somewhere they were described as like bunnies almost jumping, or like they scattered on like their four-legged creatures.
Probably. I just heard that they hopped, basically.
Cool.
One weird fact that she remembered through regression is that they were able to pass right through their wooden door. Once inside the house, the family, all of them, were put into a suspended state of animation. They were awake, but they couldn't move. Betty was then taken out of the house and put aboard a small ship, which she described about 20 feet long, and taken up into a larger ship. There she had medical tests and examinations with weird equipment and strange beings done on her. And she estimates she was gone for about 4 hours. And when she was brought back, the family was still in their suspended state of animation. When she was returned, the family was awoken. They were all hypnotized to forget the event, and then the aliens left.
Having camera trouble already. Freaking aliens.
There's a book and many websites available on this. You can just Google Betty Anderson or South Ashburnham alien abduction. They know we're here to document.
Alright.
It's plugged in.
Alright, so we should fire it up. Our highway camera's being messed with. It should be able to... Why am I not recording?